Congratulations, guys. We want to thank you, everyone, for joining us here for the first round post-game press conference of the 2026 CUSA Basketball Championships. We're joined now by New Mexico State head coach Jason Hooten, by sophomore guard Gabe Pickens, by senior guard Jamel Jones. We'll make sure the attending media here in Huntsville have the ability to ask their questions first. Then we'll move to our Zoom audience. If you don't mind, please state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. Thank you for attending, and thank you for your patience. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Hooten.
Yeah, just really proud of our guys and the effort. You know, these games, we hadn't won a lot of these this year, and, you know, I just think our guys have just continued to fight and claw and listen and learn and be coachable. You know, we've had some tough losses, and they've just continued to get back up off the mat, and it says a lot about them as people, their character. And, you know, I think if you're a person that has faith and you believe that things are going to try to eventually turn, and we've won 3 or 4 games like this in a row, and, you know, we're playing good basketball right now, and it's just a tribute to our team. It's a tribute to our guys in there in that locker room, you know, just continuing again just to get better and better every game and just start to believe.
Okay, questions here in the room?
Coach, you guys got up 14 there with a few minutes left of the first. What was working for you guys early?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought our defense was pretty good in the first half. We were guarding the ball really well and rebounding, and, you know, I think we were up 6 rebounds at halftime. The only probably negative of the first half was just we had, you know, had some careless turnovers and some possessions that were empty. I think we ended up with 6 turnovers in the first half, but, you know, we got 4 in the second half, which was huge. But yeah, we just really kind of had a group in there that was playing well together. We were rolling a little bit, and but listen, I mean, they're a really good basketball team. They're very well coached. That guy's a Hall of Famer, and I mean, we knew this game was going to come down to the end of it. And you know, I knew they'd come back in the second half and they would play better than they did in the first half. And we were a little stagnant, I thought, early. I called probably the earliest timeout in the second half that I've ever called in my life, and you know, we just tried to get them going a little bit again. Just really thought that, you know, we were, you know, I think we're ready, you know, we were ready to get back after it. But, you know, I think that's just sometimes, you know, human nature a little bit, just get them going a little bit. And, you know, I thought we responded well. And really what I was proud of more than anything was just the way we finished the last 5 or 6 minutes. We were a lot better. You know, the kid made a 3 down there that was, I mean, you just got to pat him on the tail and go the other way because he earned that one. And, you know, but we got a big rebound when we needed it under the basket. And, you know, Jalen's been big from the free throw line in the last couple of weeks and had a couple possessions in there where we had to have a basket. And, you know, this guy sitting here to my right, he can get one when you need one.
I know it's a completely different starting 5 than it was last season, but you're kind of familiar with the Ray Harper schemes that he had. Just kind of, how are you guys preparing your guys for this kind of matchup, especially in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, you know, Coach Harper, I think when you hear his name, you always know that his teams are going to be tough. They're going to be well coached. They're going to guard you. I mean, it was very difficult for us to score in a half court all 3 games that we played them tonight. And I mean, we ended up shooting 37% from the field. We were lucky to win. So, you know, you just got to really bear down. You got to screen better. You got to really move the ball and execute better. And I thought there were times where we did that. There were other times where their defense made us stagnant, you know, and you got to give those guys credit for that. But, you know, I think what Coach has always been known for and what he's done is just he's always created a culture, you know, a culture that, you know, I know he's proud of, and those are the kind of things that we try to do in our program as well.
Other questions in here? I've got one for Jamel. About 10 minutes to go in the game, you're falling out of bounds, the shot clock is going off, and you make the basket and turn it into a 3-point play. Just take me through that play.
That play was designed for me to get downhill. You know, just one of those things. I get to my spot and just trust my work.
Okay. All right, we do have some folks on our Zoom call. If you like to ask any questions, feel free.
Yeah, I think more than anything, just to keep our composure. You know, it got a little heated out there, and guys were really getting after it. Both teams wanted to win bad. Just to keep our composure. You know, I thought we ran some plays that we kind of, they're our go-to plays to get Jamel the ball. And, you know, I think sometimes when things are a little hectic and going crazy, getting him the ball will calm everybody down some, because we know he's going to get us a good shot and, you know, good chance it's going to go in as well. But, you know, to the other part of that question is this guy over here to my left is just playing as good a basketball as he's played in his 2 years here. And, you know, what a huge three that he made over there. I know it was big for us and gave us a huge shot in the arm, and his decision-making was really, really good again tonight. He's just playing his best basketball at the right time.
And this next one's going to be four game. You get a season high in points now. You're really efficient offensively. Just talk about that three. Just, you know, what's been going your way just in recent games? A good game against Kennesaw, good game tonight. Just, you know, what's been changing? What's been clicking for you recently?
Well, I just want to just say like my coach right here next to me, he's just instilled just confidence in me. Just last game against Kennesaw, I had a big matchup, so I just had to just come in focused, and I did that. And then just coming in today, we just know what the stakes are. When I go home, we just always preach that throughout these last few days, and I feel like we just came in and just got the job done.
This is a key area here in El Paso. This is for Coach Newton. Coach Newton, tomorrow you get Sam Houston, obviously a team you're very familiar with. You played them once this season. Just how are you approaching that game against the UFO team?
Yeah, obviously a lot of familiarity there, but, you know, we played those guys back in December. In fact, we played them before we even went home for Christmas break. So I think their team is way, way different now than they were then, and I think we got a different team. So, you know, it's almost like playing each other for the first time, to be honest. But, you know, they got a real good team. I mean, they've been first or second best team in this league, I think, all year long. And we know how hard of a game it's going to be. But, you know, our guys will get some rest, and we'll be ready to go tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Sam Guzman, CUSA News. My question is for Jamel. Jamel, this is the third time you and your squad beat Jacksonville State, I think, within a month. Just how difficult, or what was the experience like to face them a third time, and then not knowing there's not much to hide, knowing the history of your guys' matchup this season, and then just to pull out the victory tonight?
It's very difficult. You know, each time you beat somebody, they want to beat you more and more. And the third time was probably the most hardest, even though we went into overtime the second time. But they're a great team, man, and, you know, the coaches had a great game plan for us, and we just stuck with it and trusted.
Any other questions from our Zoom audience or here in the room?
Yeah, I got one more for Putin. Just you mentioned that the last time you guys played Sam Houston was a few months ago, back in December. Just what do you feel like has changed about Sam Houston that you think you feel like they've gotten better at, or just think that's changed about their trajectory since that time, the 21st of December?
Well, I think a lot of things. I mean, you know, it was early in the year, and, you know, most teams continue to improve and get better. I mean, you know, I think at that point our record was pretty good, but, you know, we were just starting conference play. That was our first game and hadn't really gone on the road a whole lot, whereas they were, I think, a little bit more road tested early in the year than we were. So I think there's a lot of differences there. The other thing is, you know, they've had some injuries. You know, they overcame losing their point guard, and, you know, they had a young man behind him that's a freshman who I think ended up being the maybe sixth man of the league, and definitely on the all-freshman team. He's a phenomenal player. And so sometimes, you know, your team, you know, I know they didn't want to lose those guys, but I think sometimes teams maybe take it to a different level and somebody steps up, and I think they've done that. Chris has done a fabulous job, an amazing job, you know, co-coach of the year. You know, he's just done a great job with his team all year long, and I think at one point they won like 11 out of 12. So, you know, the thing I remember that day was we really played. We really came out and got after them. I just remembered really getting up on them early, and really getting after them early. And, they battled back, I think, cut it to maybe 9 in the second half, maybe even late. Maybe it got to 9 late. But our guys, they battled and finished well. So, listen, he knows me, I know him. We worked together for a lot of years, and he's a big integral part of our success there. And he's taken over and done a fabulous job, as I said, as the head coach. And, we're excited about the challenge and looking forward to tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Okay, that wraps us up. Coach, guys, congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll give you guys a couple minutes, or you want to go ahead?
I might as well go. I don't know where those guys are. They
Okay.
went to see family and all that. I don't
Okay,
know. I
right.
can't find.
Good. There we go.
I don't know where Jacob. I don't know. I think he was talking to his family or something. I don't know. I think he's in the locker room somewhere. But you can go ahead and start.
Okay, all right. Thank you to everyone for joining us here for the first round post-game press conference, 2026 CUSA Basketball Championships. We're joined by Jacksonville State head coach Ray Harper, also by senior guard Mustafa El Mutakwakil. I know I'm going to mess it up. And I think freshman guard Jacoby Hill has just joined us. Thank you. We'll make sure the attending media here in the room get their chance to ask their questions first. Then we'll move to our Zoom audience. If you don't mind, please state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. Hey, Donnie. We thank you for attending as well as your patience. We'll begin now with an opening statement from Coach Harper.
First, you got to give credit to New Mexico State. I mean, they were physical, they were tough, and they took us out of everything that we'd like to do in the first half. I thought offensive rebounding was a big key. They had 12. They did what they need to be able to win in advance this evening.
Coach, you guys got it within 4 or 5 times, and then down the stretch with AC's pair of threes. Just what was working there, do you think, in the fourth quarter?
I just thought we executed in the half court. Our screens were good, the timing of the screens, and we took care of the ball. This time of year, man, it comes down to can you execute in the half court offensively, and how good are you defensively in the half court. Usually teams that are really good in those two areas, they win in advance. And, that's why I said you got to give New Mexico State credit. They, Jamil Jones made some tough shots, and Pickens made a big, big three for them when we helped on Jones there late.
What gave you trouble, do you think, especially when they got it 14 there?
I just thought they were more aggressive. I thought they were much more aggressive. They had us on our heels in the first half. There's no question that we had to come out with more aggression defensively. We had to be more active. And we had to get some second, third opportunities. We didn't get any of those in the first half, and usually that's not a good sign this time of year.
For the players, it's both you guys' first season at Jack State. Just what are you gonna remember? What was the season like?
What you mean? Like how our season was here?
Yeah, just.
I mean, I really enjoyed it here. I enjoyed playing with this group of guys. It's the best group of guys I've played with throughout my college career, to be honest. And I just really enjoyed it.
Really, basically, like what Mo said, this is a great group of guys, great coaching staff. You know, they kept me up, confident. You know what I'm saying? Like lifted me up in times I was down. So yeah, like it was nice playing with these guys. Like it was a great group.
Anything else, Thomas? All right, anything from our Zoom audience, please? No one on Zoom? Okay. All right, fellas.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.